Science! All right, can you hear me? How is the sound? Good day. Welcome, everybody. Gerald, good to see you, my friend. And yes, plasma is a very, very interesting thing. Joe, cool. Shout out to Joe. Always playing it cool. Joe and JJ down in Florida doing some epic boots on the ground work as well. And yes, that's what it's all about. Doing the real 5x on the sound. So is that I need to increase my sound, or I'm confused, Gerald. Anyways, what we are showing here is two different versions of monoatomic silver that I'm making, which then essentially can be woohoo, good to have you. So good sound. All right. Good morning and welcome everybody. Perfect. So if you can see here, the jar to the left, it was the same the same two silver coins that I used in yesterday's stream. One of them began to oxidize, the blue on it there, but in this I took all of the monoatomics out of the reaction of the jar from yesterday. I put it into the jar behind it there that I'll show in a minute. I scrubbed off the two coins. I rotated them by 90 degrees and then switched which coins were on the cathode and which coins were on the anode sides, alternating them and switching their nano-coated layers that had formed, which I will take the camera in a minute and give a better view of what I'm describing here exactly. And then on the second jar here, I have a triple copper toroid. Good morning, JJ, CJDV from New Zealand, Mike Carson, the Fourth Wiseman, Michael Myrick, Joe Cool, Anthony Williams, I believe and of course, Danico. Good day, my friends. And so, anywho, I'm going to grab the camera here a little bit so that I'll be able to illustrate things a little bit better. Both the hydrogen coming off of this copper coil and the monoatomics that have been forming below. Good day, Gary Baxter, Thomas Anderson, Miss Anonymous 617. Also, supposedly my PayPal account isn't working. Let me know if the link doesn't work. I haven't received any donations in about 2 weeks' time, so that would probably be why if it isn't working. And I guess they're just trying to screw me. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up, but whatever. It is what it is. Thus is life. It shall continue. And instead of me droning on, I'm going to go move the camera around to illustrate some things. And also there'll be the fields of exclusion zones to notice where there's still clear water and where there is monoatomics. Good day, John Beard. Yes, please do smash that like button. Big Island Beach. Aloha. Aloha. So, no, there's no connection between the two jars. They're both plugged in separately to two 5-volt AC wall hookups. And also in today's stream, I was going to present or replay my best of APEC video and highlights reel, highlight stream, which was, well, it was epic. APEC, and looking forward to APEC coming back and being a major part of what we are doing, what I'm doing with this channel and this community and going forward. and it's what made this channel. It's what made me, and I love APEC, and APEC loves me. And on that note, we'll play a little bit. I guess first I should highlight what I was talking about here first, and then switch it on to the stream. So, which camera? Yeah, okay, cool. We got the right camera. First off, can you see the tiny hydrogen bubbles? And can you still hear me? Oh, there we go. Look at all those bubbles forming. You can see flying around. I guess I should go like this. Oh dear, what did I do? Oh, I did it good and right. So you can see the tiny little guys bubbling away. Those are the atomic hydrogen. And then some big hydrogen bubbles as well. Plus all the monoatomic silver that is condensing both on the copper itself and coming off of the copper anode, the silver anode, 1 ounce silver coin that I have as the anode being eroded away a lot faster by the triple solenoid copper coil with the amount of electromagnetic field that it creates and the more amounts of hydrogen coming off of it, and just the reactions happening in this electrolysis. It truly is a beautiful thing. All that atomic hydrogen coming off of just salt water and a little bit of electricity. And yes, now you can see on this one behind Bert here, this, Bert down. Right here, this was the oxidized silver that turned out a little bit more blue from yesterday's stream that I did with Shem. And yeah, it's more blue and almost purpley now. Compared to both of today's jars and reactions happening that are both remaining perfectly monoatomic white in nature, not oxidizing at all. And as I grab this camera here, it should kind of show that there's somewhat of an exclusion zone at the bottom here of what's still more regular water compared to the monoatomic silver that is being formed right here. And then there's also the monoatomic silver that has condensed at the very base of the jar. And once again, you can see that just the clips going in, and the positive going to the anode, the negative, the black wire going to the cathode, which is then producing this atomic hydrogen. And it looks like it's snowing. It's this little plasma world of ORMUS, of monoatomics, monoatomic hydrogen, monoatomic silver, monoatomic copper, all the healthy metals, right? And I guess I actually can start to see clouds forming at the base of the bottom one. About an inch or two from the bottom there's these clusters that are forming. Though light's not as good. Let's see. Able to see them better now. Not sure if that helped. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, Bert, Ernie's in the way now. Now we got clear focus again. Some good old hydrogen production. Up on there. Welcome everybody. Good to see you. And so these exclusion zones, yes, they're electromagnetic in water. It's like the water becomes its own organized batteries. They're these plasma batteries. It turns the water into a plasma, and the monoatomics themselves are also a plasma when they have this electricity running through them. And it's plasma state matter. And it's where life begins and comes from, and consciousness at the same time. It seems to be, and it was fascinating the other day when I was in the comments of the Walter Bosley channel when he was live with Joseph P. Farrell, and hopefully I should still have an interview together with them coming up next month or so, but that every time I use the word plasma and consciousness together in a sentence in the comments, the YouTube algorithms automatically censored it. And that was very strange to me, but very, very telling. And yeah, so a lot more to come when we talk about plasma and consciousness and real science, and what is alchemy, and why the ancients were so alchemical in nature and understanding spiritual connection to the process of creation. And it's deciphering their texts, their understanding, and the science of it. And that a lot of their ancient writings were written in allegory and concealing, what the hidden science within it, and there was a lot of symbology, and it's just fascinating. The more I do in this, the experiments and then the readings and seeing it all coming to life together, it blows my mind every time. Blows my mind every time. That was right, Gerald. It was absolutely epic. And Gerald, maybe tonight we'll have you on for the Real Science episode. I'm going to be going to sleep, and then when we wake up, we will do Real Science episode 33. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this one kind of short here to about an hour. I should probably start playing the APEC highlight stream here, and we'll keep the... I'll also be showing, before I end here though, showing the rinses of the purple, the blue, and the white, different monoatomic mixtures for my different agriculture experiments, now that we've got all the seeds planted. So I will be getting my camera or my phone set up for that while playing the highlight stream here. All right. Oh, and yes, I guess first I should show right here the jars of the waters. These are some of the water. Oh. that I will be using in the experiments. The gold, the purple, the white, and more of the purple right there. And then outside I have more jugs of the water that I will be using. Okay, so on that definitely ain't no piss bottles. They're literally silver and gold. That's physical pure silver and physical pure gold. And the ones that look like piss, ironically, are the ones that are made of pure gold. And that golden showers, well, my jars aren't piss. They're literally gold. Good day, Diet Dazzle. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Occult Mosaic. Anthony Williams still up and with us. Michael Stephen, Darcy Edmonds, the Fourth Wiseman. Joe Cool, of course. John Burt. All right, so back to... Hit play and let me know how the sound is.
Okay. Also, for electrical engineering, magnetism, Jason Verbelli. And I've been talking to the Verbs. Jason sadly has also recently suffered mass setbacks by YouTube and had both of his channels deleted. And like, that guy's a legend. He's been on YouTubing for probably 15 years or so, and 50,000, 100,000 followers, subscribers, and both channels taken down off of the claims of health effects YouTube striked him for with magnetic water. So very important. My disclaimer at the bottom is 100% accurate. Do not try to consume these monoatomic waters that can easily, if you don't know what you're doing, or especially the actual chemicals itself, like water. Nothing is health advice. It's all very, very dangerous stuff that you can easily poison yourself. Like it's research and lab studies need to be done, not guinea pigging on yourselves. That's the crucial part that I gotta state there. But back to APEC. Okay, so Jason Verbs, Nick Cook, the legendary John Hutchinson, his Hutchinson effect. He's been levitating things for over 30 years. Amazing fellow Canadian backyard researcher. I am, as Hutchinson says, a fellow hobbit for the fringe. Who am I forgetting? Kevin Day. That is the keyest of all. That hopefully you'll be as awestruck as I was when I got the chance to talk to Kevin Day. Kevin Day, if you don't know who he is probably single most influential movement in bringing disclosure forward in our generation. Kevin Day is not just an American hero, he is a world hero. He was working on the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier when they had the Tictoc encounters. He was the radar operator and overall command operator on deck when they caught the Tic-Tacs on the radar and then sent the jets up, and the jet fighters caught them on camera. And then Kevin Day was the one that I believe that pushed the Pentagon for disclosure and actually has brought forth this legitimate evidence by the world's foremost, government military authority source, and technological of documenting and filming them. And hey, this is real, and all the respect in the world to Kevin and the rest of the crew and people that were there and a part of that and everything that they've done since then. And I know I'm forgetting at least a couple more. Let's see what I got. And Bob Greenyer, of course, and I've since been able to do stream follow-up science stream with Bob Greenyer and myself and Jeremiah JP. Joined the technicians, and Exotic Propulsion are JP Jeremiah's channels. If you're regular on my channel, you know JP and all that he does. And I will be doing more with Bob Greenyer coming forward, as he is truly an inspiration and idol in the cold fusion work and bringing it to the world. All right, so without further,
just had to pause it there to say that is just as true a statement today as it was a year ago or a year and a half ago when I filmed this. But we're going to continue. And it's always awesome watching videos a year later, reflecting back how far things have come. And I've since done many videos with Bob Greenyer and continue to do work, and a lot more work coming up with Bob, as well as APEC, as well as John Hutchinson, as well as Jeremiah, as well as Anthony and Simon in the chat as well. And of course, JJ and Joe. Much love to you all.
Further ado, what am I talking about? If you haven't seen APEC before, this is their YouTube channel. All the links are already in the descriptions. This is what the alternative.
Shout out, brother Redcap Goblin. Hope you're doing well
YouTube
today,
name,
my friend.
Tim Ventura,
Much love.
out in California, the main operator of APEC. Just next level work for all you do. And then you go into, this is the home, click onto the videos segment. And literally Tim has spent weeks, months upon months of work making this happen, and then editing them and publishing them, cutting them down from the 7 to 8 hour video stream full conferences that alien scientist Jeremy Reese streams on his channel, and that I've streamed many myself in the past and will be doing again, starting with the next week's one. I just have sadly been out of town and unavailable the last three
question we're all
been, so it's
Redcap.
2 months now since I've participated in one, so it feels like forever. But yeah, so literally you're able to find months worth of content of real top world, top class intellectual research and documentation on both UFOs, but also the anti-gravity, free energy over unity, higher dimensional physics, technology, and science that has been classified for so long, brought forward in all of these APECs and conference. Just, it's so amazing, and we're changing the world, bringing together all of the minds, bringing it forward to the public, and working together to get to the next level. All right. I'm gonna pay attention to all of you beautiful souls that are tuning in, listening to me right now. It says 14 of you at the moment. Good day. I'm on Twitter, so YouTube, Twitter, and I'm going to keep this stream under an hour, so it will also back up onto my OdySee channel and Twitch. Apparently I am on. Oh, I am live right now. Look at that. Okay, so I'm also on Twitch. Twitch, it's at BurnCron, BERNCRON _ BurnEye, BURNEYE. live on Twitch as well. So, okay. TW, good morning. Is it still 5 minutes, right? So literally it took me 5 hours to get this stream going and figuring it all out. And let's play these clips that I'm talking about. The first one we're going to start off with Kevin Day. I can't wait to the opportunity to talk to this beautiful soul again and his experience. So without further ado, the first clip of the first APEC with Kevin Day.
Sorry about that. I had to use the
Weird,
restroom.
there was the frog noise.
Okay. No, I ended my soliloquy and I opened the floor for questions.
Okay. Well, let me do that. So I'm going to allow people to unmute themselves. Sorry about that, guys. So let me go to Bernie first. Bernie?
Hello. Thank you so much. And it's an absolute treasure to have you on APEC and sharing your experience, Kevin. Like you are a true treasure, and I'm just speechless, really. For those that don't know, you are the main reason why the footage got released and acknowledged by the Pentagon. And I really am drawn and appreciate you bringing up the fact that it's consciousness related, and that when you first told your story, what you said that you felt them mentally or telekinetically or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I definitely feel connected to whatever this is. But I think it's natural. I don't think I'm special in any regard. I think when people encounter UAP, you're going to be changed by it in some shape, form, or fashion. It's going to happen. It's a natural reaction, and not only humans but animals too.
Yeah, well, so let me say thanks to Bernie. Bernie just got up. So, Kevin, let me ask a question, actually. So I would say, how are things changing right now for you? And the reason I ask is, so the U.S. government now has a new group to study UAP. Have you been contacted by them at all? Have they asked for any information? And what are your thoughts on this new group? How does that change your story as it progresses?
Well, I think the reason, Tim, why people started listening to me and still are is because my story hasn't changed. I've told the same story since day one, and that's because that's all I have. I didn't choose this. I didn't choose this, and there was one time when I was contacted, and at the time I didn't even know. It was way back in when was that? 2014, 2015. I had just come out of the wilderness, and I was over at a friend's house, and at the time it seemed happenstance. There's two guys over there. Their name was Shakate and Forrest. Next day they come over to my house, and they wanted me to take me out to the wilderness, out to the mining claim, because their cover story was they wanted to train spec war out there. They were from the government and they wanted to train spec war. But I was already suspicious, so I took them out there with some friends just in case. And when Lou Elizondo came to see me all these years later, he confided in me. They were actually from the he didn't say what the program was, but it must have been ATIP. It must have been the ATIP program.
I had to pause it right there for a second because Jeremy Reese, the alien scientist, good friend of mine, co-host of APEC, I don't know if he caught that, but that is huge information with just proving that Lou Elizondo is a government agent, and that how would he otherwise be able to know and tell Kevin that yes, those guys confirmed knowingly with authority that they were government agents, unless he himself is still an active government agent. And just a key point that I'm gonna have to replay this for Jeremy. again, because it adds one more circumstantial piece. But back to it.
Other than that, I'm positive that I'm being monitored. There is no question in my mind that I'm being watched. Everything I do, which is fine. I have nothing to hide. I'm actually comfortable with the idea. But and I think they're very interested in what our nonprofit's going to do. UAP Expeditions. I think they're in full support of what we're doing. I really do. Just reading the tea leaves, because we are providing a service at no cost to government. We're private funded.
Sorry to interject, Kevin.
Yeah.
I just needed a moment to rethink my question. Now, when you said you think it's like a natural experience.
Oh, and now we're losing Bernie.
Is that in regards to plasma ball, or like an orb, like ball lightning maybe, or was it definitely like an actual craft, like a UAP or UFO?
I think it was a physical object of some kind. I really do. Because it was seen with the human eyeball, and also it was tracked on radar. Not only it, but there was, if I counted up all these objects over the course of the days that we were tracking them on the Spy-1 radar, it was probably 100 of these objects altogether, if you added them all together. They appeared in groups of 5 to 10 at a time.
Now, Kevin, one of the things on, I believe this was last session, we had Dr. Yaman Ansbro come on. And one of the things he had talked about, he mentioned your story. He said the object started at the radar ceiling and very, very rapidly dropped to surface level. And I believe he was speculating that these might be orbital deployments of these UAPs. Is that something you've ever thought about? That these UAPs may be rendezvousing with something in orbit, or could be potentially being deployed from something in orbit?
My mind, my entire job, Tim and you guys, was to identify everything that flew in the sky. And this is probably the only thing in my entire career that I was never able to identify. So my entire goal at this point is to identify what these things are. And my mind is open because I'm a trained skeptic, and I don't make an ID call until I have the evidence for it. And right now I do not have the evidence to make an identification, but it definitely falls under 3 categories. Either these damn things are alive, like you and I, or they're objects from Earth built by someone else, not us, or from us, we don't know about it, or they're indeed from outer space. Or I guess if you wanted to throw in a 4th possibility, it's something from the dark matter realm that came over to our realm. So maybe there's 4, but my mind is completely open on this. I don't know what these things were, and I want to be the guy that makes that identification. I'd still like to be that guy.
Yeah. Well, and if I could suggest, I guess the rumors that I've heard are that potentially they could be from another place. Some people have carefully suggested that they could be from another time, right? Which is, to me, that was an interesting one. The people who have suggested that just kind of brought it out of.
Thank you for this opportunity. I very much enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So let me go to Bernie. Let me finish up with Bernie then. I think Bernie is our last person.
Kevin, at the beginning there, you were saying that things are changing and that it's for the better, and that it's accepting now of like this technology and these higher dimensional physics, like the anti-gravity, the free energy per se. And is it now like a time where the governments are looking to put forward this knowledge and this research of like the cold fusion and the free energy, the over unity, and us getting off planet? Or what, like, are people no longer getting killed for putting forward the electrolysis car and the HHO engine and stuff like that? So, well, what is your take on?
Please don't kill me for wanting a hydrogen.
Don't kill me, government. Don't cancel
take is,
Bernie.
It's incredible what's happened. And when I look back on everything that's happened since 2004, it seems to me as though that 2004 is turning out to have been a tipping point, because it seems to me like the entire planet is suddenly embracing, and on a governmental level, they're starting to adopt policies and procedures and acknowledge the fact that these things are real. And the mindset, people don't get clowned anymore by talking about this. Like just a few years ago, we did, and I got laughed out of an industry just by trying to raise a safety of flight issue. I say, I don't think they're a UFO, but there's a danger here, guys. And I was proven correct, because since that time when I got out, there have been several near incidents with Navy aircraft with these objects, and that's just the ones that we know about. What about the ones we don't know about? So my warning was prophetic in that way, and the people who laughed at me then sure as hell ain't laughing at me now, I'll tell you that.
Thank you so much for everything you have done and being part of the change that is happening.
My honor. Yep, my honor. And it's my I feel like I don't have a choice. I have to do this. I have to do it. I can't not do this.
Well, God bless you.
This message has to get out. Hey, this thing is coming at us. The world needs to know that when you see these things on a personal level, expect change in your life, because it's going to happen to you.
And not to fear it, right? That's the thing, is it's like they're not an enemy. It's not like something that's coming to get us, or
no. Quite
something that's helping us.
Quite the opposite. It's, in fact, the reason why it's left us largely alone is because it didn't want to harm us, because it knew that it was going to change people. And there's a danger in that. If you start changing and you don't know why, and it's happening on a global scale, that might not end so well. Think about it, right? Because all of a sudden everyone's changing and no one knows what the hell's going on. Yeah.
Is it also a question of them not wanting to interfere with our own free will, sort of thing?
I don't know. That's probably beyond my pay grade. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, BurnEye, thank you, sir. And
all right, so that's partial clip. The full Kevin Day segment is over 2 hours. Here's the full link once again, posting in the live chat, and in the bottom of the YouTube description, links are already pre-posted and written in there. Part of the homework that I had to do in setting up this stream, and why it took me 5 hours to do so. What the heck? An error occurred. Wait a minute. Am I still live? Let's see what's going on here. Is it still working? Okay, we're still cool. We're still live. Sorry. I guess the live chat might have cut out. So hopefully it reconnects. Stupid computers. Maybe they don't want me sharing. I don't know. But on to the next one. So here we got Nick Cook. This is a highlight of the APEC of myself talking with Nick Cook, famous UFO UAP researcher out of the UK. He's been doing it forever. Absolute legend. So
to me, I will forward that over to Nick, and we'll see. We'll do it that way.
I'd be happy to, BurnEye, by the way. That's
like he heard me. Okay. I was going to say, BurnEye, would you like to ask the next question?
Thank you. So first off, Nick, you are amazing. Thank you so much for everything you.
It's Inception stream. A very stream of a stream of a stream.
I'm just wondering, would it be possible to schedule and book you for a interview stream, a follow-up with myself and Jeremy at a later date, so that we can go further into consciousness?
Yeah, BurnEye, for something like that, let's do this again. Let's put a pin in that. BurnEye, if you can email that to me, I know you just emailed me last week. Send that to me. I will forward that over to Nick, and we'll see. And we'll do it that way.
I'd be happy to, BurnEye, by the way. That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
So my question / comment is more about looking at consciousness as a scalable dimension, or existing through higher dimensions and lower dimensions. And from like a cellular level, in like a 1 or 2D, to existing like remote viewers, for instance, that they would be in a 4th or 5th dimensional consciousness where they're existing throughout space-time or localized space-time. And then anything of like a demigod or higher would be like a 5th, 6th, 7th, who knows how far up we go. But in our 3rd dimensional consciousness that is Earth, human of free will, and 2D would be emotional, good or bad, surviving. 3D is free will thinking. And then 4 is when you dream or when you have your out of body or whatnot, the quantum mechanic, or through space, traveling through space-time, essentially.
Well, BurnEye, your thoughts on that are probably in advance, or in fact, I can categorically say they're some way in advance of my own. I mean, in the sense that, like you, I share the view that entities, if you would like to call them that, exist on a spectrum. We humans exist on a spectrum, and there are entities, I believe, that resonate and operate and exist at higher frequency, and there are those that operate and exist at lower frequency. I believe that. How that works, I haven't got too far into, but I do think that probably in our, well, let me backtrack. Like I say, I was lucky enough to know and work with for a while Ingo Swann, the godfather of remote viewing, and Ingo's mantra was that we are all a little bit psychic. It's just that not all of us either choose to turn that capacity or ability on, or it doesn't get turned on for us, but it's all latent. It's latent in all of us. So some of us see it and some of us don't. Some of us have, quotes, the gift, and some don't. But I do think that before we became, quotes, civilized, that as a species we probably had it ingrained or inbuilt into us more readily than we do at present. So I can well believe, or I find it easier to believe, that in our distant past we were more in tune to those dimensions, higher and lower, than we are today. So that's probably right now about as far as I could go. But in essence, I think we're on the same page.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, BurnEye, and thank you, Nick, as well, because that would, what amazes me is all the consciousness questions. I mean, with your background in aerospace and all the research, so that's why I was like, wow, everybody's So
well, it's funny. It's like everyone, I think, wants to talk about it now, because
everybody does want to talk about consciousness, because it is the grand awakening. It is the shift, and we are finally becoming conscious beings again, and getting your consciousness out of that 2D action reaction, good bad polarized that they try to keep us in, or our 3D just day to day, moment to moment existence from before, but elevating to that 4th dimensional consciousness and that 5th dimensional consciousness, what the esoteric and occult essentially called the Christ consciousness. But what it is quantum consciousness, and it's that the understanding of it and the model that I'm making, and why we haven't broken through that unified field theory, the understanding of everything, that universal code, and we're in denial of it in modern Western society and science right now, is because it has excluded consciousness. And I've been working on and created specifically a scalable, unified geometric theory of everything, but it's unified field theory, it's physics, but consciousness is exactly same unit per unit scalable level on in this theory, unified theory of everything, as matter, as mass, as energy. They're all like measurable units on the exact same structures and existence and parallels and just how it works. And that is why consciousness, oh, and quantum consciousness. So quantum is time travel, or essentially quantum walking, energy thought throughout all of time space. It's getting your consciousness out of this 3D physical body into that fourth, where you're thinking ahead, you're thinking behind, you're thinking of others. That is 4-dimensional consciousness. And then 5-dimensional consciousness is connecting to your higher self, your dream world, your soul consciousness, the rest. But that will come one day very soon. Well, no, I'll do a podcast just on it very soon, I should say, but the full theory is still going to be a couple years away, and no doubt, because it's a theory of everything. That's a lot of work, and I'm broke ass. So anyone wants to donate, and the angel investors out there, if you want to help out, make me be able to get that unified theory done sooner, feel free. So it has to do with also deciphering this ancient alchemical periodic table, Walter Russell's vortex-based periodic table and geometries, and it's also the octave scale, aka Plato's Platonic solids, and Pythagoras's Platonic solids. Those shapes are applied on geometric. So just, I guess we're getting into it a little bit because talking about it. First dimension, disk, 1-dimensional, single plane. You have the center, and it's like an electric field, but it's on one little plane, force vector. Your second dimension is a rod or a pole between connecting those two fields. So now you have magnetism, electromagnetism, and then your third dimension is a sphere, which is the now including the volume of that whole field and the solidity of it, and a full structure in the 3D. That's why anything third is finally its own free will, completed, a base model, base unit of anything. Then you get to the fourth, which is your cube, and it's exponentially more complex and denser than a single sphere. And then from there, you're connecting the next 4, 5 platonic solids. God, I can't even think of the names off the top of the head, like the dodecahedron. Anywho, like I said, work in progress, brain farts. This is a little bit of some of the connecting graphs, measurements, geometries, shapes, dimensions. Really soon, hopefully within the next month, with both himself and Nancy.
Shout out to Johnson, indeed.
Here we go.
He just did a video
My
on
chat
his
with
channel
John
last night
APEC
addressing making hydrogen, which everyone is looking at.
We
right
talk
now.
about the bell rings, everybody lines up and goes to lunch. And it's like, John's like, what the hell does that mean? He never went through that. He never went through the programming.
No, I had to learn a lot on my own by my dad's library and from a lot of other people.
As well as experimentation, right? And then experience what you experience, then and take that into the next step.
Yep.
And would it be that it's just to not wear blinders when presented with like a new idea, field, or subject of the science, the quantum, the multiverse? Because
we only know the 0.0001 that was matter. We're still missing the 99.999%. So each person learns their own little thing.
Got so many better recordings with the Hutchinson, several that are private that will be edited and published.
When in fact it's really just one fractal or fragment of all 100% that is the universe of everything, multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just paused it there so I stopped talking over myself. But yes, stream within a stream within a stream is what we are all watching right now. Isn't it just like a beautiful dream? And shout out to Mr. John Hutchinson and all that they're doing. And yeah, excellent video last night on hydrogen production being this right here. And we are going to be going deeper into it this year, God willing, and hopefully I do not get killed for just wanting to drive a hybrid hydrogen car. What is wrong with wanting to drive a hydrogen car? You know, it's green, it's renewable, it's made of frickin' water. Why can't I have my hydrogen renewable car? I don't know. That's why we're going to try to make one, and hopefully we don't die along the way. And that is my rant for today. Exactly, Simon. They want to own that hydrogen economy. That is exactly it. They want to have to, oh no, you can't make your own hydrogen. Oh no, that's not allowed. You can't do what you're seeing right here. No, that's dangerous. That you're gonna explode yourself if you do this. If you do this right here, oh wait, look, I'm doing it and it's doing it nonstop and it's not, oh, I haven't exploded yet. But, you know, they might just send like a little drone at me to want to act like I exploded from hydrogen. But I guarantee you it was not the hydrogen that killed me. And yes, I just want a little like hydrogen car that is a mix, you know, just the it's ridiculous. Anyways, back to the best of APEC. And right here, John Hutchinson, legendary John Hutchinson and his wife Nancy.
So he's breaking up. I don't know, can people hear John and I, because it was Bernard broke up.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well,
sorry, I mean,
okay.
So I would say think like a 4-year-old. You know, think like a 4-year-old. The 4-year-old says, "Why is the sky blue?" I was told because it's reflecting the water of the ocean. And I went, "Oh, okay." Until farther away from Minnesota than sitting on the shore of California. So, and I was in Minnesota. So, you know, don't believe everything you're told. And if someone tells you something, go figure it out. You know, John read books, and he Ben Franklin, and he duplicated the experiments. He duplicated the Tesla stuff. You know,
Fun.
But I guess the question is, you know, we kind of all agree what frequency is, cycles per second. We kind of all agree what amperes are. We kind of all agree what volts are. Mm-hmm. So there's things that we all agree upon, no matter where we came from. So, you know, when it gets beyond that, where do you think that these?
Well, it's progressive.
Like the Mandela style of sound.
Like for me,
that are a full shape. Are those the ones to essentially focus on?
You're talking about you know what a Mandela is, John?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So, well, it's just kind of like this pattern, and if you the Mandelbrot, the fractal, okay. Mm-hmm. So we've got a system that's fractal, and then we have the male, the new idea, the point that comes in, and that's what John, this is what John does. He uses points to come in, and he brings a point into the system and it changes things.
Like a cat whisker.
Like a cat whisker, which is the male penis.
No,
it is. It's the male that brings in the change.
Sharp points like energy.
It's the same thing, John. We're talking the same stuff. You got shock, yes.
Earlier,
that's what makes the change.
You sensed for the resonant frequencies, and that you aimed to have the resonant frequencies. Can you elaborate on that specifically, of how would you calculate that or sense that or know?
So he's frozen.
Full frequency.
They didn't want me asking those questions.
Maybe Tim could repeat what was just asked.
Actually, I missed it too. Bernie, can you go again? Your connection is cutting out.
Okay, sorry, it's because I'm also using StreamYard going to YouTube. You earlier mentioned that John got the most effects when the frequency was a resonant frequency, and that he would sense or aim for resonant frequencies. Can you elaborate on what exactly, how you calculate, how you sense, and then how you would be able to input that specific resonant frequency that gave you the most effects of the combination of energies?
Okay. First of all, John's high spectrum, if you don't understand what that means. Okay.
I am.
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Welcome to the crowd.
Okay. Okay. We can all eat Asperger's for a while too, you know? So John, when he was 5 years old, got a transistor radio. Remember those little transistor radios? And you'd listen to them, and you could take them to the beach and shit. You know, this is long before you had your iPhone. And, you know, this, okay. What he listened to was static.
I'm fascinated by that.
So you got somebody who's been listening to static for decades before he created the Hutchinson effect. He already knew what was happening in the information systems in that static.
Very interesting. Static.
So that's so he's listening for a certain combinations that's happening in that static, and then he knows, okay, the effect's ready to happen. Now we're going to transmute something.
Do you have synesthesia? Like for me, I see sound. Is it something like that?
What?
George Lissacase had a diode system where you knew when an effect was going to happen, it would start oscillating back and forth in polarities.
Okay.
But
maybe that's what you're doing. You're vibrating back and forth.
That's how the field stress detector was born, and made Georgie Lissacase $70 million.
Yeah, that's off of the power cells.
Yep.
The crystal power cells.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me think on this.
So what he wants to know is, he wants to know what it is. What is it that you hear? Well, I guess somebody's got to come here and put some headphones on with them.
Well, it's.
Okay.
Oh, I know. I hear number stations a long time ago on sounds of generators running.
Not talking about that. They're talking about when.
I hear and visualize and make.
Right. So when you got the headphones on.
Yeah.
And there's a certain pattern of noise coming in your ear.
You're able to feel it, right? Essentially, that the resonant frequency resonates within you, and then you're sensing it and know.
Yeah. You realize you plug your ears and you still hear, which, you know, it's kind of like one of those things, you know, your body's vibrating as well and sending stuff up to your eardrum, not just what's coming in the ear canal. So it's very possible that his whole body is listening and not just what's coming through the headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask a quick question about that. That sound, I mean, to me, it sounds a little like synesthesia. For me, I can recognize a piece of music by the performer and the composition based on what it looks like in my eyes when I see it. So is it something like that when you're listening to some of these sounds? Is it a highly visual thing, or is it in feeling, or
all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
See it right away. And
so what's your favorite piece of music to listen to watch?
yeah, it's good. Private, but that's okay.
Video.
Bob is publishing a
Have you
lot of
got-
videos on findings and things.
If people read Mindbenders by George Hathaway, that's all about John, Mindbenders.
Yeah, that's George's book. Mine called Mindbenders, I think available at Amazon.
Okay, somebody just posted
And John, I just posted your main YouTube channel, Baroness Carla Knipschen.
Baroness Carla P. Knipschen. Thank you. I got
and
100.
absolutely, I can understand why you're so
Broken up again, Bernard.
Thank you.
Yeah,
of Bob
Bernie.
Grenier. I've been
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you,
Bob
Bernie.
does great work deciphering your work, and I'm talking to Bob currently through email, setting up a couple of multi-hour discussions with him. And if it's all right with you, I would like to bring you in with Bob.
Okay, yeah, I forgot how bad that one was. They really interfered every time I tried talking to like John on that one. When I get to the crucial science question, the key words, it would just suddenly buffering. Like it was bad. But I've been emailing back and forth with John ever since we met and talked on APEC. He was actually the very first subscriber to this new channel right now, right here, BurnEye Mind's Third Eye Science Guy, when I had to launch it 2 months ago when they deleted my second channel, Crypto Alchemist. Still no word from YouTube or Google or any of them on either reinstating Crypto Alchemist or my original Bernard Conkin. They just like, God, I need funding, you a-holes. Each time I get a few thousand subscribers, followers, people starting to donate, able to donate, starting to pay ads, should have been. I have yet to get a single check from YouTube, any advertising, nothing. They screw me over every time. We're just trying to do good science and advance the world. For the better of everyone. Who doesn't want a flying car or, endless free green electricity and food? Like, come on, man. But that's my little rant for the day. So everybody that is here, Esra, I know, hopefully I'll still be up. I was thinking of doing another stream when I end this one, do a couple short ones, and then still be available in 4 hours from now to hype on the Wide Awake show. It's insane. Bane Bear, welcome back, brother. Good to see you, my friend. Sherry Ives, you beautiful soul. We're still gonna have to do what you sent me. An episode, a map, the world's oldest map of Atlantis, and it's deciphering the Giza pyramid complex and all of that. It's going to be coming soon. Back to APEC. John Hutchinson, I hope to be doing a stream with very soon. There was crucial information that he was telling me about the setup of how to measure and record and then use resonant frequencies of specific atoms and materials. And that's the literal missing key information that I'm lacking right now in my electrolysis cold fusion reactions that I theorize will be able to complete the full transmutational accurate transmutation from one element metal to another through this process of cold fusion alchemy that I've discovered. All right. I thought those trolls were crazy. Next up, let's see. I should have Jason Verbelli, amazing guy. Been emailing back and forth with him lately. I can't believe they deleted, oh God, YouTube, stop censoring science. 15 years this guy's been doing work on understanding magnetism, magnetic fields, electromagnetism, higher dimensional over unity. Oh God, yeah, backwards land, backwards land.
Most difficult thing for me to understand was his law of squares, and I'm still trying to grasp it. But now we have an understanding of exactly how to use it as a calculator and a spreadsheet. So it is extremely valid, and that is how we build the materials to the exact specifications needed.
And the law of squares, it's used in the Rodin coil vortex-based mathematics a lot too, right?
That is a completely different approach and explanation that doesn't have to do with.
I'm just talking about the mathematic coding of the actual magic square.
There are differences.
Mathematic sequences, though.
You can reuse numbers in Rodin's approach, but you can only use the same number once, like in Sudoku with Searle's method.
Let me go to let me go back to, or actually let me go to Will Riken. Will, let me go to you next, sir. Because again, thank you so much. The group may not know. We spoke and we were speaking about Searle stuff, and when you mentioned the work that we're doubting, that presentation was something that I actually asked if you could deliver. And in the future, if you're open to it, I would love to have you talk about Searle more as well, because again, you've been on the Searle team, you knew him well, you know that work. We've had, I'm not sure if you've seen it, we've had other presenters here who have talked about Searle, and it is interesting that pretty much everyone who has done a serious attempt at an SEG has seen results, right? So
some anomalous, exotic results, something.
Yeah. You know, which is strange, because there, I mean, from my perspective, there are a lot of reasons to think that the Searle effect wouldn't work, so to speak. But even people who have gone into it from a critical perspective, everyone who has really put effort into it has seen something, and many have been surprised. So.
Exactly.
Okay,
why not go for another step? So let's see what else we can do by pursuing it even further.
We have about half an hour for Q&A, so I would love to open it up and see who. Let me see. Allow participants to unmute themselves. I got that, and then
that's the part that the clip that I played. It's the wrong one. I can't find. It's before the start. Or it's off the end, I think, of the video. I don't know, but it wasn't the good part when I was talking to Jason. I had other questions and topics that we discussed in it, but I couldn't find it. It's not in that clip of it. I'll have to play it another time when I find it. Sorry, guys and girls and everyone that is here, all the brains, thoughts, conscious beings. Thank you and welcome. Bob Greenier up next, because, well, he is an inspiration and an icon for me, and legitimizes my cold fusion work and alchemy research on a whole nother academical level that without him, you know, I'd still be getting laughed off as an alchemist if it wasn't for him and the science that he has put forward.
And EVOs and the relationship between them than I have to say on the first part of your question. So I think that's what I can offer at that point.
Awesome. Well, so let me go to, and we're starting to push closer to our time. Let me go to Bernie next. Bernie?
Hey, Bob.
Hi, Bernie. How you doing?
Very good, my friends. I'm gonna have to admit, I'm gonna have to catch up on your most recent work. That sounds pretty awesome. Discoveries there.
Honestly, I think it's probably the conclusion, really. All I'm going to be doing is finessing the next time on the SEM, but I think we now can repeatedly produce the core of ball lightning, which is, in my view, the core behind coherent matter is the core behind all exotic technologies. So And to see it repeatedly, having predicted what it should be, and that prediction be in line with all the Russian, the Japanese, and the American, and whoever's looked into this with any serious length of life, it's been a deep honor. And thank you for your support over the period.
Much love, brother. I can't wait. I'm excited. I regret that I haven't kept up on it lately. I've been out the last couple of weeks fighting strep throat, but I'm
I posted the link for that amazing 3-hour Bob Greenyer presentation, but I love Bob so much. I'd rather show a clip from the stream we did together. It was originally a 3-hour video. First hour and a half was my own science experiments, and then the last hour and a half, Bob Greenyer joined myself with Jeremiah on the stream on the Crypto Alchemist. Thank God he made a copy, edited it, and posted the hour and a half with himself and myself on his Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project channel, so it's still up there. And it didn't copy over to my OdySee because it was 3 hours. Oh crap, and 54 minutes here, so I'm gonna have to end this right away because otherwise it won't copy to OdySee. But quickly I shall show the science stream with Bob Greenyer that we did together outside of APEC. Never mind, it wouldn't even load. And on that note, I am going to end this stream right now because I got to keep it under an hour so it backs up. And yeah, that's covered basically all of the APEC clips I wanted to show. But I'm going to do another stream in about 20 minutes that will be another hour on talking about my alchemy experiments, the cold fusion, documenting a lot of it, as well as my...
Except that I won't be doing another stream in 20 minutes because that was an old stream, and here we are. And how far I've come in the 2 years or 3 years now that we've been doing the streaming, and constantly still don't have my original Bernard Conkin channel back, but I do have my Crypto Alchemist channel back, which is awesome, which we are now streaming to. We are also streaming to BurnEye Minds Third Eye ScienceGuy on YouTube, as well as Crypto Alchemist on YouTube, as well as BurnEye on Facebook, BurnCon Experts on Facebook, BurnEye on Twitch, BurnEye on Twitter, BurnEye Minds Third Eye on Twitter, also on Rumble on BurnEye, as well as my regular Facebook and my backup Twitter. So we are live on 3 Twitters, 3 Facebooks, 2 YouTubes, and a Twitch right now. And also my TikTok is doing quite well already, only a week and some old, and already 402 followers, BurnEye369. And yeah, TikTok is where it's at. Lots of the shorts. Getting the views, was getting views, all of a sudden it stops. Strange how that always seems to happen. What else do we have for you today? I do have to say, shout out to Paul Cook, is actually doing very good work these days, exposing the geopolymer and the geopolymer layers of the star forts, and in Malta, showing some next level on the ground work. And you know, I do respect on the ground work. Other good on the ground work is Joe Cool and JJ Organics and what they've been doing down in Florida. Love it. And there will be more alternative history to come in the coming weeks. I have delayed several episodes that I had with other people in this community, just so to not drag them into any sort of drama with whatever the heck is going on. I don't really care, but you'll see me with real people going forward, and the real science shall always continue, as shall the alchemy and the free energy coming forward, and the work groups, and just all of it. It's all happening for a reason, and there's so much more on the go behind the scenes, and there's just so much work involved with it daily. But I'm gonna have to take some step back here. Like these setups to go to do this live today. It took me 5 hours just setting up all of the alchemy experiments, and then the streams themselves and everything. It takes a long time. And yes, for the GANs for plants, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And thank you for reminding me here. I'll take it outside quickly now to show what I'm going to be doing with the plants. And the silver that I'm creating right here, that is also going to be used on the plants. I'm good. I'm doing fine. I'm going through a lot. My province is on fire. A lot of friends. Oh, thank you, Shem. Jacob. Shout out Shem. Tartarian Truth. One hell of a good person, and love you, my friend. And you do not have to PayPal me, but apparently my PayPal isn't loading. I'm not sure. That's what I was told. So if there is anybody out there, even send $1 to let me know if it does work, or if it doesn't. I have no idea. But I do appreciate all of you, and I will actually, so let's first share what I was doing with Shem last night here, just as a brief reminder of the original silver experiment there, and then the one with the dead blood, the copper on copper. And I will quickly here show what the copper on copper with the dead blood turned into. Was actually quite fascinating, as it turned strictly into what appears to be copper. Oops. Oh god, that's not focusing at all. CuH3, so copper trihydride, or copper hydride. But that's what it is right there. And it's quite orange in color. Fascinating stuff. And so you can break the copper down into this orange stuff, the white stuff, the blue stuff, the purple stuff, and the metals turn into all of these different colored materials. And then I've been rinsing the salt out of the white, the purple, the yellow, and the blue ORMUS or GANs materials to start doing the agricultural experiments on them outside. Now that all the planters in the gardens are planted and seeded. There you go. All that atomic hydrogen and monatomic silver falling. And now you can even see the silver coming off the silver coin. All of that monoatomic particles falling down off the silver anode, descending down. And that's the good stuff. And that's the stuff we're going to be testing on the plants. And it's all about testing it on the plants. And yeah. A lot lost my train of thoughts. I am on the right screen. Back to like so, and I will be outside to show the other ones that I'm rinsing. We are outside. Is it working? There we go. So here's the purple, the white, pink, and the blue greens that I'm rinsing now to wash the salt out, and then that I will be watering the different plants with to conduct the agricultural experiments with the different ORMUS gans. One love, Brian Evans. And one love to Nico. And love all of you beautiful souls watching right now. I'm like, look at how pink this one turned. Quite intense. So we're gonna try each one of these different monatomic solutions watering. All right. Well, like that's some Easter colors right there, or Kool-Aid, no doubt, right? Like that is hilarious. Oh, and the blue I was supposed to actually. Oh, now I stirred it up a little bit, but tonight on Real Science episode 33, I will be draining these and then remixing them or re-rinsing them one more time before finally starting to use them in the agricultural experiments and watering the plants. So you got gold, pink, green monoatomics in that one. And I'm going to have to keep myself muted because of the speakers when I go inside, but I will quickly show the other colors before closing it off. Exactly. Yes, sir. The purple's made from gold. Maybe that's what it was.
I forget who it was, but yeah, I'd have to look into it again.
Pretty funny though, all in all.
It's default negative dungeon programming.
Oh my god, I forgot about the giant moth that I let into my house yesterday. Now I can hear it again. It's stuck somewhere.
Yeah, the water looks way different than.
All right, I had to play 5 seconds of Shem there just so I could finish the stream off with an Inception. You like the pun there? A little Inception, a little Inception. Anyways, the matrix of playing a video within a video within a video. And yes, on that note, that shall conclude this alchemy stream, and I'm going to go into a dream land and go to sleep, and when I wake up, it will be Real Science episode 33, and we will be back with a bunch of special guests tonight. So on that note, I'm glad everyone appreciated the Inception, and we will see you later. Much love.